The one path to serenity. Hi, my name's David Dwyer, and welcome to the Daily Stoic 366 Meditations on Wisdom, Perseverance, and the Art of Living by Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hasselman. Today is January 12th. We made it 12 days. That's fantastic. Thank you. If you've been here from the beginning, thank you so much. But today is January 12th, the one path to serenity. Keep this thought ready at the daybreak. And throughout the day and night, there's only one path to happiness. And that is giving up all outside of your sphere of choice, regarding nothing else as your possession, surrendering all else to God and fortune. EPICTETUS, Discourses 4.439. This morning, remind yourself what's in your control and what's not in your control. Remind yourself to focus on the former and not the latter. Before lunch, remind yourself that the only thing that you truly possess is your ability to make choices and to use reason and judgment when doing so. This is the only thing that can never be taken away from you completely. In the afternoon, remind yourself that aside from the choices you make, your fate is not entirely up to you. The world is spinning and we spin along with it, whatever direction, good or bad. In the evening, remind yourself again how much is outside of your control and where your choices begin and end. And as you lie in bed, remember that sleep is a form of surrender and trust, how easily it comes. And prepare to start the whole cycle over again. Awesome. I like today's one. I'm going to add one as well it's the serenity prayer, something that they use a lot in AA. It goes, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Especially when I was first getting sober, that was a mantra that I had to really, because it really helps you recognize what's in your control and what's outside your control. Ryan Holiday and also the Stoics they're really pushing this idea of that, recognizing if you want to have peace and serenity, the one path to serenity, right, is recognizing what's in your control and not in your control. Letting go and letting go of everything that's outside of your. I like to think of it as a spiritual hula hoop. You got this hula hoop around you. Everything inside the hula hoop you can control. Everything outside of the hula hoop you can't control. And, also too, what I find particularly for the, one path to serenity and kind of happiness is recognizing that, happiness is an inside job. It happens on the inside. I can't take outside things and try to fill the hole in the soul. That's not kind of what the reading's talking about, but it's talking about recognizing our choices and what's really defining that line of making sure what we're in control of and what we're not in control of. The line that really actually got to me too is recognizes that even outside of our control, your fate isn't entirely up to you. Most of the time it's I'm going to take fate in my own hands. But even that, there are things that are outside of your control. 2020 and the whole lockdown situations. A lot of that was outside of our control. But how we handled the situation, how we dealt with it, that was inside our control. And it's recognizing those differences. Let's say you have a coworker, a tough coworker or something like that. That's and taking this, you can't control the coworker, but you can control how you respond to it. Like I was saying, earlier this week, I had a friend of mine I know passed away pretty suddenly. I had no control that he passed away, but I have control how I handle the situation, how I handle my grief, how I look at it, and that's what's in my control. And recognizing that is a daily process. This is why, he says he has those reminders throughout the day. This is something that you have to recognize because it's so easy to fall into I can control this. It's really easy. So finding that constant reminder. This is why the serenity prayer, like I said at the beginning there, was really powerful for me. Yeah, that's all I got for today's reading. Let me know, what do you think is the one path to serenity? What's in your control and what's outside your control? And do you struggle with that? Love to know in the comments below. And thank you so much for joining me on this journey. We made it to 12 days. That's awesome. And yeah, don't forget to, the likes, the subscribes, the shares, all the fun stuff there. You know what to do. Really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much and have a great, if not better day.